Hi, Rajdeep. Thank you so much for taking out time to interview with us. For the viewers, may we request you to please share your results on the GMAT?
Yeah, hi Dikshita. I would like to thank Express Global for reaching out. It's a really pleasure to be a part of this new initiative that you've made. I would like to share my GMAT results. I scored a 750 on the GMAT with a Q50 and a B42. It was my first attempt.
Awesome. Congratulations
Yeah,
on getting
thank
this
you.
score. It's quite difficult to reach this,
Mhm.
and you were able to do that in the first attempt. So, hats
Yeah,
off to you for that.
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So, in your
Mhm.
opinion, what were a few factors or actions you took that made all the
Mhm.
difference and made this happen?
There are quite a few. I would say sticking to the basics first. Daily practice is a very important thing. I made sure that I practiced around 5 points and 5 verbal questions every day. Actually, I had a difficult routine. I have a 48-hour work week, which often extends to more than 55 hours a week. So I barely got a couple of hours a day to practice. So I made sure that I made full utilization of that time. I tried to listen to some of the GMAT Club YouTube webinars and some of the experts global video resources on my drives to and from work. Actually, I mean, I drive to and from work,
Right.
and listening to the videos also helped. And then I would say sticking to official verbal questions, because in I think verbal it's important to stick to official questions. And thirdly, I would say I didn't try to time myself right from the start. I gave myself ample time. I knew I had sort of time issues, so I knew I had to take a longer time than most people.
Mhm.
So I didn't actually schedule my exam until I finished the all the questions of the OG. So that's how I took it. So my overall prep took around 5 months because of the time issues. Don't I didn't try to answer the time, like I said, timed practicing the timed questions. That's something I started only in the fourth month. Before that, I was just trying to solve the questions and going through trying to analyze the mistakes that I made during the practice. Okay. And I tried to use the mocks strategically,
Mhm.
because taking the mocks is, I mean, there are twofold advantages to taking the mocks. So, firstly, you get to analyze your questions, analyze the mistakes that you made, and take stock of your preparation. And the second aspect is that you get to get a feel for the actual exam.
Mhm.
So in both ways, I would like to. I used only two official mocks, but I used them strategically. After I finished the OJ, I took the first mock, and the
Mhm.
second mock I took a week before the actual exam. And around 2 weeks before the exam, I took time off from the office eventually. So I took the last 2 weeks. I dedicated the last 2 weeks entirely for this prep for preparing for the actual exam. So these are some of the things that I think I helped me.
All right, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And it's amazing how you were able to get your target score with 5 months of preparation from the
Yeah.
official material and online resources.
Yeah.
So, with what area on GMAT did you struggle the most, and how did you overcome that challenge?
I'm basically from an engineering background, so quant was, I mean, I was familiar with the kind of questions that quant throws at us. So I would say that CR was something new for me. I hadn't experienced anything like CR in my past studies or in my career anywhere.
Mhm.
So that was a new challenge for me. Initially, I struggled a lot in CR. But then gradually I realized that it's about pattern recognition. So I refer to a lot of YouTube videos or webinars on the GMAT Club webinars and some of the Express Global videos to try to get a feel for the questions that usually come in the official exams.
Right.
Gradually, through a lot of practice, I improved the CR bit. For DS in the quant, actually for DS, I struggled initially because I solved the entire question,
Mm.
but while marking the option, I chose some different option. Actually, I forgot what the question was asking.
Okay.
So I solved this I learned this trick from one of the YouTube videos. What I did was I tried to note down what the question was asking right at the start,
Mm.
say X, and then I mark the question mark after that. After that, I tried to do whatever solving I wanted to do. That helped me clear the obstacle in DS. For SC, I was initially good in SC relatively, but then towards the end, my sort of accuracy dropped in SC, probably because I sort of tried to overthink. Maybe that's something that one should avoid, trying to overthink in SC. But then, fortunately, on the actual exam, I answered all the SC questions correctly, so that worked out well for me.
Mhm. All right. Okay. So, what advice would you give to the future candidates regarding their complete journey of GMAT prep?
I would say first and foremost, try to set yourself a reasonable target. Don't work against a stiff target. This is for both the timeline and the target score. Uh, when I started out my preparation, my friends told me that around 2 months, 2 3 months is sufficient for the GMAT. I,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought to myself, I don't have that much time, and I don't have that much time to prepare well within 3 months. I mean,
Right.
I could have done that, but I could have ended up with 690 or 700. So the best thing is to give yourself ample time to prepare. Don't rush yourself. That's one thing. Second is, I would say, stick to official verbal questions as much as possible. Don't exhaust official verbal questions too early, because then you will find yourself struggling to get good quality verbal questions. I would say don't go into timed mode right from the start, because that has a negative effect in my opinion. So try to understand what the problem is asking, try to solve the questions first and get a feel for the questions before going to practicing in timed mode. And then I would say that taking mocks is good. I mean, it's really useful to take stock of your preparation, but if you take too many mocks, it's a drain on your energy, because you don't want to do anything half-heartedly. I mean, you can try and take a mock every week, but
Right.
ultimately it's a drain on your energy. You won't be able to focus 100% every week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say take mocks strategically and use them to your advantage, like analyze every mistake that you made and make sure you don't repeat those mistakes, especially if those are careless mistakes. That's
Right.
one thing that's critical for the GMAT. Yeah, I would say try to, on the day of the exam, I would say try to stay calm, because ultimately, even if you have 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever preparation you have, it boils down to the day of the exam. So try to stay calm. It's difficult, I know. It's about the mental aspect a lot. But in case you find questions going against you, you find it difficult, you find answering the questions difficult, it's a good sign. And
Mm-hmm.
I use this advice to my benefit also, because I was struggling. I was struggling to answer the questions in the quant, in the middle part of the quant section. And I recalled an advice that I saw in one of the Experts Global videos, that if you are struggling to answer the question, that means you are doing well. That
Mm-hmm.
means you're doing well. That's why you're getting the tough questions. That's one thing.
Right.
And don't plan on guessing randomly. That's one advice I would give,
Mm-hmm.
because guessing doesn't work. Make sure
Right.
that you've eliminated as many wrong answer choices as possible.
Yes, absolutely. That is true. So, is there any final suggestion or message that you would like to give to all the viewers and future candidates
Mhm.
watching this video?
I would say if you are targeting the GMAT, it's better to get your concepts right, because usually the concepts are basic, but they require a very thorough understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I would advise them, if you are not sure, if you don't have any resources of your own, then try to gather resources from some online platforms or some even offline platforms also, but try to get the concepts right, because otherwise you'll struggle. And try to assess your situation first, and then go accordingly. And one more thing I forgot to mention in the last question regarding the GMAT prep is that answering the first few questions of the GMAT correctly is very critical. It happened to me that when the exam started, the first question popped up all of a sudden. I mean, I was not expecting it to. That's why I would say that use the mocks wisely. I was expecting some other screen to pop up before the first question, but suddenly the first question came up. So that startled me, and my mind went completely blank at the start of the exam. So for the first question, I spent nearly 6 minutes, but I was determined not to make a mistake on the first question. I read and reread the question. I read it 3 times and make sure that I gathered my composure and I answered the question. So answering the first few questions correctly is very critical in my opinion, because that can be a difference between, say, 750 and a 720. So
Right.
that way, if you're targeting high, try to make sure that you don't lose your composure and answer the first few questions at least correctly. Then you take it from there, whatever the exam throws at you.
Right. Absolutely. That is true.
Right.
Awesome. So, thank you so much, Rajdeep, for giving us your time and interviewing with us. I'm sure your suggestions they're going to help a lot of students in their GMAT prep. So, thanks a lot.
Thanks to Experts Global. Thanks, Dishita, once again. It was very nice talking to you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, it was great knowing about your GMAT prep journey as well. And congratulations once again on getting a 750 on your GMAT. And all the best
Thank
for
you.
your
Thank you.
applications.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Take care.
Yeah, bye. Goodbye. Thank you.